So I just a presentation here. So my paper, ECGSmart, Revolutionizing Cardiovascular Disease Diagnosis and Management through AI-powered real-time
Ex
analysis and personalized
excuse
health
me,
guidance. Yeah.
excuse me. Can you wait for a yeah? Now we can see the screen. Yep, go ahead, please.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Okay. So first off, I would like to address the problem. So the problem that I've seen within these recent years is that number one, cardiovascular disease is slowly been growing and it's the leading cause of death worldwide. And in the recent years, we had the COVID pandemic, which has filled a lot of hospitals with patients. There's been a lot of this a lot of patients in hospitals, and so doctors don't really have that much time to focus on cardiovascular disease. They need to focus on COVID in these recent years. So what I've seen is that the cardiovascular results and guidance from doctors, there's been a lack of that, and there's been many delays as because COVID is like a bigger problem. And this is especially prominent in more rural areas where there's not a lot of doctors, not a lot of hospitals, doctors available, and just really populated areas as well, because there's a lot of people. So my solution to this problem is my via ECGSmart. So this is like my prototype of an app. And so what ECGSmart does is it basically uh based on ECG charts, it can help you give you health advice and recommendations. And ECGSmart utilizes AI to analyze the information on the your diagnosis to give you this advice. And so my app is pretty simple to use. Here you can see on the bottom left, this is like how my app works. There's a splash screen, login page, you can register, and home screen you can see on the right. And I'll just go into the features here. So this is the login screen that presents you with. Obviously, you can register. You can just anonymously log in as well. So for the home screen, this part, you can access the features. The main features are library and the interpretation. And here on the left, you can see it's the library. So this part, you can search for many cardiovascular terms here, like, yeah, and then for the interpretation part, so like the main feature. And so for this part, we would take a photo of, say, an ECG graph with like your diagnosis on it, or you can just pick from the gallery. And so here's the example advice that it gives you. So here, the this uses AI to detect the text on like a graph, and then it shows what the AI can, it explains to you what's going on, and then it gives you advice. I'll be demoing this later on as well. And to for making this app, I used Android Studio, and I used the Flutter database to program in Android Studio. And my app also implements ChatGPT as the AI model, and it also uses Google's Firebase to store data, such as login information and just accounts. And so, speak demo here in seconds. I'm on the Android Studio page. Give it a second to start. Well, while that's starting, I can explain. This is some of my code. I use the, yeah. This is just like a prototype version of my app. So I explained earlier, you can have an account, just log in here, and you can register for an account if you don't have one. And so I'm just going to use the anonymous login here. And so for the library, as I explained earlier, you can search for terms here. So I wanted to search I don't know what ECG is. Click it, and then it'll send a prompt to the AI. For now, um, I'm thinking of implementing the library later on. But for now, it's just send a prompt to the AI, and it helps you explain what's the term means. It's ECG, then go to like other terms, take a look. And then here is the interpretation feature. So this can one from here. This is an example that has like a diagnosis, then we use image recognition to kind of like recognize what's going on text. So here's the interpretation of what the graph, and here's an explanation about what's going on, and here's also some advice. So the whole goal of this is so that because of the problem I stated earlier, because doctors don't have enough time to really give you guidance, you can use this to get specific information about what you have and what steps you can take on more of a personal level so that you can improve yourself. Let's go back to my presentation. Okay. Then for the future of my project, I would like to add some user customizations or preferences. So right now, the log account system that I've set up doesn't really matter that much, but I would like to make it so that if you have an account, you can have like settings on there. You can save information. And I'll also, for this app, I'll also like to, obviously, as time goes on, I want to update and regulate the library, add more learning content, more features, perhaps. And then right now I'm using ChatGPT, right? I don't really have a specific model yet that I've trained. So I would like to, in the future, train and deploy my own model. So it's more specific to my app. And that's about it for my presentation.